Misdirection is an underestimated strategy for climbing in League of Legends. Hello felines, have you ever been so engrossed in something that you failed to notice what was happening right in front of you? That's misdirection in action. It's the art of drawing attention away from what's truly important, and it's used in magic acts, mystery novels, and even real-life situations. If you're looking for an edge to outsmart your opponents in League of Legends, misdirection can also help with that. It's something that many League players overlook, so if you manage to master misdirection, it can really help you turn the tide and climb. In this video, I will cover 3 types of misdirection that can lead us to sweet victory. I will be using Orianna to demonstrate this, but keep in mind that misdirection is a strategy, so it's not about the champion, it's about the way of thinking. The first type of misdirection is visual misdirection. Visual misdirection involves making our opponent look here and not there. If we're laning with Orianna and we're trying to land our Q, we will have a better shot if we Q in one direction but walk in the other direction as opposed to just standing still and throwing our Q. This is because the former involves visual misdirection while the latter doesn't. In order to visually misdirect our opponent, we first need a red herring. In this case, our red herring is our own body movement. When we move, we divert our enemy's attention, thereby creating the perfect opportunity for us to throw the ball. Additionally, players who understand zoning and spacing tend to instinctively adjust their positioning in response to our movement, so we can kinda anticipate their moves when we Q this way. Bigger actions can often conceal smaller actions. The bigger the action, the better the concealment. This is why magicians use magic wands. It amplifies their gestures beyond what they can achieve with their hands alone. The second type of misdirection is time misdirection. Time misdirection involves making our opponent think that something is going to happen at a certain time when it's not. One way to use time misdirection in our games is to pretend that we're trying to hit the enemy with our abilities, then back off and then immediately throw our abilities at them. Many players will try to hit their abilities by walking up to the enemy and making a forced move. This is not always a good idea because the enemy knows that we're going to hit them, so they will be more prepared to dodge. Trying to throw our abilities immediately after we retreat can yield more success because we're misleading the enemy into thinking that we have already given up. Time misdirection works well because humans' limited perception often generates false causal links between 2 events. In our example, the 2 events will be backing off and giving up. This is how magicians make stuff disappear. We think the object is disappearing right now in front of us, when in fact the magician probably did something to the objects at another time. The third type of misdirection is psychological misdirection. It involves making our opponent think something is going to happen this way when it's going to happen another way. Mystery novels that use the narrative technique of revealing the victim as the culprit are often crafted with the clever use of psychological misdirection. Psychological misdirection works well because we're manipulating the perception of our motives and intent, leading our opponent down a path of false assumptions. You might know about the hiding the ball in the terrain trick if you play Orianna. I made a video about it many years ago. One way to use the hiding ball trick is to combine it with psychological misdirection. For example, we can hide our ball here and then walk to the enemy this way. This might make the enemy think that we're going to Q this way when we're actually gonna Q this way.